Hello dear student, today's topic is cold storage. So here the cold storage is an also application of air conditioning in a way that the air is cooled by passing it over a cooling coil of a refrigeration plant and supplied back to the room. The basic purpose of cold storage is to store the perishable food products at optimum temperature to enhance the shelf life of the product. In dairy plants, cold storages are required for storage of milk, butter, cheese, ice cream, etc. The condition of storage in these cold storages is different depending upon the nature of product. Here we have taken for example, ice cream is stored at -25 degrees Celsius, while milk is stored at 4 to 5 degrees Celsius. For quick freezing of fish is -25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Here many fruits and vegetables is stored at 0 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius with high relative humidity of 80 to 90%, etc. Now here we have come to the working of cold storage. In this we can see here the basic components which are used in cold storage, that is similar to the air refrigeration unit. Here this is the compressor. The basic purpose of the compressor to compress the refrigerant from low temperature, low pressure to high pressure, high temperature. Then after the compressor, the refrigerant is sent to the condenser. From the condenser, here heat will be rejected to the atmosphere and we get the refrigerant is condensed, and condensate refrigerant is sent to the receiver. Here the receiver, the basic purpose of the receiver to store the liquid refrigerant after the condensation and to ensure the only liquid refrigerant flow takes place to the evaporative coil here into this, because when vapor refrigerant will flow into the evaporator, then the capacity of the evaporative coil will reduce. So here receiver that ensures the only liquid refrigerant will flow through the cooling coil. Here this is the evaporator, that is a cooling coil. Here air passes through the cooling coil and refrigerant which flow inside the evaporative coil that absorbs the heat from the air, and air is cooled, then refrigerant will evaporated by absorbing the heat and vapor refrigerant again sent to the compressor here. It means this cycle is completed. Here in evaporative cooling coil, heat is absorbed from the air and air get cooled. So here chilled air is forced by the blower fan into the refrigerated space where we are storing the perishable food products to increase the shelf life of the food products. So here air is passes through the food products. Now we have come to the types of cold storage. Here cold storages are classified in different way as indicated below. Here the first classification based on the use of cold store. Here first is milk cold storage, second one is cheese cold storage, third one is butter cold storage, fourth one is potato cold storage, because all perishable food products are stored at different temperature. So for the different products, here the classification is on the basis of use of cold storage is different, because the temperature needed for saving the shelf life of perishable food products is different. So for the particular purpose, cold storage is installed. Now we have come to the second classification of cold storage. Here classification based on operating temperature of cold storage. Cold storage maintained above 0 degree Celsius. Cold storage maintained below 0 degree Celsius. For milk, cold storage is maintained above 0 degree Celsius, while ice cream cold storage is maintained below 0 degree Celsius. Product load is one of the factors for estimation of cold storage load. It is necessary to calculate heat to be removed from the product when a part of water gets frozen at storage temperature of the product. The design of evaporator, air circulation, expansion valve, etc. will be different in these cold storages. The thickness of insulation required for low temperature cold storage will be more to reduce the wall gain heat load. Here is the third classification based on construction. Constructed cold storage, walk-in cold storage. Mostly cold storage is constructed in dairy building as per the design and layout of the dairy plant. The cold storage is generally constructed by civil work and insulated either by thermocol sheet or PUF panels. Now we have come to types of load in cold storage here. That is basically two types. One is sensible heat and second one is latent heat. So here it is basic requirement to know the types of load in the specific cold storage in order to find the capacity of the refrigeration system for the cold storage. It is necessary not only to cool the product to the storage temperature but also to meet the cooling load due to various heat infiltrations taking place in the cold storage. Broadly, the total load is divided into two categories as under here. The infiltration load, this is the load, heating load which comes through the door, windows or any cracks opening into the cold storage room. That load is also considered when we are going to design a capacity of the cold storage. Then this heat will also calculated on the basis of total load. We design the cold storage capacity. First is here sensible heat load. Heat flow through wall, ceilings, floor, doors, structural heat gains. This is the sensible heat. Heat gain from infiltration of air due to door opening and movement of products through the opening provided in the walls. For example, crates of milk enter in the milk cold storage through a gap provided in the wall using conveyor. This load is kept minimum by using appropriate strips of flexible plastic sheet to reduce the exchange of air. Heat received by workers working in cold storage through it is very small as number of persons working in the cold storage is very few. This load is very important in air conditioning system as it is for providing comfort to large number of occupants. Heat load due to lighting and other motors used in the cold storages. Here these all types of heat is calculated under the sensible heat load. This is the latent heat load in cold storage. Here latent heat load from infiltration of air, latent heat load from occupancy, latent heat generated from the stored products. Based on the above heat load, the actual amount of heat flow rate is calculated. In order to find total load to decide the capacity of evaporator of the refrigeration plant which are used in cold storage. Now class is over. Thank you for listening.